Hey there, it's Nick from Florida, and while strolling down one of the bookshops, I met Ankur. Hello, Ankur. Nice to meet you.
Hey guys, how are you? Thank you.
Yeah,
I've never been on the Facebook live video.
Okay, so it's the first time. I've been there a lot.
Awesome.
Because I'm a teacher and I'm a student, of course, because I have to learn a lot of things.
Yeah, so to be a teacher, you have to always learn from somebody, somewhere or somehow. And so to become a good teacher, you always need to know that there's always room to grow, and you can always keep on learning more and more.
Absolutely, yeah. Because whenever you stop, you kind of go down.
Yeah, and not just for the teacher actually. You actually need to keep on learning in life. You cannot never stop learning. You need to keep on learning.
Yeah,
always.
Absolutely. That's the thing. And are you from Florida?
I'm from Florida, but I'm basically from India. I came here as a student, and now I have a job in West Palm Beach nearby as a software engineer.
Oh, wow, so there are software engineering jobs here in Florida as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Usually it's California, I know, but there are some jobs here in the South Florida area, a lot.
I have a lot of friends and former students, and and current students that work in California for the major companies. I don't to name these companies.
California and Seattle and New York are the best cities they say, but I mean, they need technology everywhere. I actually work in a healthcare company. We try to save money for the Medicare by taking care of patients much better. So,
right.
And this is the retirement states of the business.
So you see, it's kind of like today, you're not working for one industry. You're working in technology, but in Medicare.
Yes, in the healthcare field, and we are helping providers take better care of their patients and how to. At the same time, so through care coordination, the patient will go to hospitals less and ER less time, so Medicare will save money at the same time, and patient won't feel that much sick. There are a lot of frauds that happen in the healthcare field.
Frauds?
Not actually fraud, sometimes, but usually what happens is that the doctors, if a patient comes to doctor, he will take care of him, but over the weekends the patients just go to ER. If they have a headache, they just go to ER. If they have a little chest pain, they go to ER. So we are trying to change the patient's behavior by actually telling the doctors of how they can take care. They can call, if there's a very sick patient, they can just call the patient on Thursdays, Fridays, and be like, hey, how do you feel everything is all right? If you need something, just try to go to urgent cares, or hey, just come to my office tomorrow. We will have a checkup, and if you have anything, just call me on the weekend also.
Yeah, I find it absolutely fascinating how all this big data and all this technology is changing our life nowadays.
Yeah.
Luckily, oh, no, that's not wood. We have if you touch the wood 3 times, so it's kind of like a superstition that you're not gonna You have the same in India?
Yeah, we have that. We don't do 3 times, but we touch the wood. So to
touch the wood, that nothing bad is gonna happen to you. Those are the superstitions, actually.
Yeah, actually. I believe in it a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. It's a impulse. I don't know if I believe it, but it's an impulse that every time I want something to do, it's just touch wood.
Cool. So maybe you could give a piece of advice for students, for example, those who study in the other countries. Yeah. So they what do they do after they are 11th or 12th grade?
So if you guys want to be in the engineering field, GRE and TOEFL is the way to go. Right. If you want to come to US, for other countries, for Canada or some other countries, you might have to give IELTS because they accept that as English. But you have to understand, if you are in the engineering field, you are doing maths. So math and English is the key, and you need to keep on practicing how to listen or speak. Speaking, maybe sometimes you don't have that many friends to speak to, but for the listening, you can always watch English movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No kidding. That's how I learned.
Okay, so through movies.
That's how I started. I mean, eventually I had to go study, take classes sometimes, or study through the dictionary or take practice papers. But that's how I started learning more and more words, because Even sometimes there are some movies where I watch them 2 times because first time there were some words that I didn't understand, and the next time I had written down the words and looked up their dictionary, and then watched the movie again. It made more sense.
Oh, you were like a really diligent student, because as for me, I hardly remember myself writing down words because I was captivated by the action.
No, actually, no, I was, but sometimes I just had sometimes I just had a phone or just write down the words.
Okay.
Like 2 minutes. Yeah, you can always pause the movie in between. I used to watch on Netflix. So.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So, but also for the business studies, business sides, you need to give the GMAT.
GMAT, yeah.
GMAT and TOEFL. I think TOEFL, you have to give the TOEFL for that too. But GMAT, again, it's the English.
Yeah. But GMAT essentially is not an English test.
It's a math and English.
Exactly.
But
there is a math part, like although like in GMAT there is a verbal section, yeah, but it's not the primary thing.
Yeah, but I'm actually preparing for IELTS right now.
Oh, probably you want to go to Australia or Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Canada. That's those are the 2 reasons you normally prepare for IELTS. Either Canada or Australia.
Yeah, I have I don't know, like I just like to travel. I like to explore new countries. That's why I came from India to US. Now I've seen a little bit of US, so I want to try other countries out. That's why I want to give the IELTS, so I get a visa there and go there, spend a couple of years there, and then move on to the next country.
Wow, that's a good example. You can do this as well. What about the university? Like, did you graduate from American University? Yeah.
Yeah, I studied my master's in computer science from the American University, and I have been doing job for like 2 years now.
Can you give give advice to students? Like, how do they get to an American university if they, for example, like don't have like lots of money?
So for if you don't have lots of money and you actually need to get the scholarship, that's the only way to go. Sure. Because with the living cost and the school fees here, like, is really high. So student loans, if you take a lot of student loans, you will be just spending like next 10 years of your life just paying off those student loans.
Exactly.
So I would say do really good on TOEFL and GRE. GRE depends on your field and the university you are applying, but at the same time you need to they actually ask for essays during the apply, and you have to be really think about what you are writing in the essay, because
you mean motivational letter, right?
Yeah, the motivational letter. Yes.
Yeah, like the personal statement, like this.
Yeah,
kind of
personal
stuff.
statement. Yeah, I didn't know didn't remember what the actual word that they say.
No problem.
But
I worked with it.
So, but that's how they actually decide who they should give the scholarship to or not to. Even though if you don't get the scholarship during the admission time, don't get demotivated. If you have a little bit of money, just come here and take as a teaching assistant. Try to do some teaching assistant work for professors for free in the start.
Exactly.
Or do, if they really like you, they will start paying you. And I have a lot of friends who actually got scholarships after 6 months. After first semester, they really worked hard toward that, and professor just had funding for it, and he just paid off all their school bills.
Because if the professor says that you are really diligent students, you're really like not a random guy here.
Yeah.
Like you came with a purpose. Like your mission is like.
Yeah, so work hard and consistently. You don't need to be like, oh, it's not going to be a sprint. It's a marathon. You have to remember that.
That's a very exact point. Like, yeah, if you want to put it in a nutshell, yeah.
Yeah, it is actually a marathon. It's like you can't impress a guy in 1 day or 1 week. You have to keep on doing that, and then at one point he will recognize what you are contributing to his team.
That's really a valuable example. Thank you so much.
No problem.
If you don't mind, I want to ask you about the books. Which books did you use to prepare? Apart from, I mean, like movies were there, but like.
Let me see.
Like TOEFL is here, just like a couple of TOEFL. Like there's Manhattan Prep.
Manhattan Prep, yes.
Yeah, did you use it?
I used Manhattan Prep for the GRE preparation.
Yeah, exactly. That's.
But actually, I studied a lot for the English. Like my math was always good, so I studied a lot. Like for at least 2 months or 3 months, I just studied English for the GRE preparation, and that actually helped me prepare for the TOEFL at the same time, because you have reading and writing there already. it's the listening and speaking skills that you need to be good at. So for the speaking skills, go to school or anywhere, you try to go out and try to talk to people and speak as much as in English. That's the way to actually learn how to speak properly, because it's just keep in mind, it's not about the vocabulary. It's more about how fluent, it's how fluent you are in fluent and how you make your sentences. You don't need to learn really hard words for that. Yeah, for writing, for reading section and writing section you do, but not for the speaking and listening part, not that much. They actually focus on how fluent you are, how fluently you understand, and what kind of sentence you form, and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So, I actually, so for the TOEFL, but I prepared for the GRE from the Manhattan Prep and went through. Actually, I went through Kaplan book.
Kaplan, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I would say like it's pretty common.
This one is actually a really good book because it has got all the, like, there are certain words, there are like a lot of words that actually get repeated.
Actually, I know one book that is much better than this one. It's something like about how to increase your vocabulary, something like that. I can't recall like exactly, but it's a red one, a big one.
Oh, yeah. But see, it has got 600 words and 420 idioms, and practice questions along with it. So 600 words, a lot of words. Even if you don't believe it, but there are a lot of words that actually can help you throughout.
Can I throw one or two? Can I just throw one or two from here?
Yeah, so, like for example, use up a resource or size up the competition. You will always be like, so it would be like evaluate or success. Size up the competition.
Yeah, like size up, evaluate.
Yeah, but if you wanna say, you would always say, I will determine how the competition is, or usually the words are like that.
Sure.
Yeah, but size up the you won't. Sometimes people don't know how to say. Create the better form of sentences, so this helps you actually during that time. Maybe there is a speaking course, speaking question that you have in the exam, that actually you can use those.
Yeah, like for that matter, yes. Like in these terms, I fully agree with you.
And for example, they are vocabulary rigorous.
Yeah.
So usually people don't use rigorous. They are like, it means strict and demanding. But
if you use it during your exam, like for example, what do you want to achieve in your life? Like you have 45 seconds, and then you're like, to achieve success in my life, I have to just be like, did you do that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like just to impress, because if you have like a timed response, so it becomes a kind of stress.
So you have to keep on practicing using these idioms, because you have so much less time to think and a lot of things to speak up. So you need to keep on thinking at the spot. So you need to have all these in your memory, like in your mind, going through, rotating through, and don't think that you will forget these or anything. Your mind is really powerful. It can process like 1 trillion things at a time. So,
but there is one thing that if you just go through it quickly, or go through it like during one night, it's not going to happen. So you have to like do the mindless work. Mindful, of course.
So basically, like this chapter, for example, it has 30 lists, right?
Yeah.
So it has just got 30 lists. So just do one list a day and keep on repeat, and do it like in the increments. Like do vocabulary list 1 today, and then tomorrow just go through it quickly, and then do it second one.
Yeah, it's very logical.
And
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then you can have a weekly or bi-weekly where you just go through all of them fast enough, or you just have somebody else ask you those, and you ask them.
Yeah.
Like kind of a group study is also helpful if you have someone to actually study with. So
I think that's a great advice. So let us thank Ankur for his wonderful insight into exam preparation.
No problem.
Cheerio, guys.
Cheers.